Let's double check. Chickity check. Mic checker one, checker two, checker. New channel. There you go. Live. Cape2Cairo, 42 seconds. No use, 42 seconds. Live. There you go. Checker one, checker two, checker. Awesome. Okay. Right. Wow. So simply, here we are. One screen there, one screen here, and then one screen there, one screen there. So welcome to this stream. Today I'm going to pitch to you the current state of the offering that I have for my community, my country, and my continent. So let's just start off with what we're seeing on the screen right now. Here we are. Cool, so I'm just navigating here. I don't have my second screen, so we should be able to see. There you go. So the title of this is Cape2Cairo. Okay, so I am very guilty of thinking too big and not working small, like think globally, act locally. And I've made this mistake in the past. However, I had to title it as this because this is what I would like to achieve in the next 3 years, is to drive from here to Cairo and to collect and verify information for development across this beautiful continent. Now I just want to show you what's going on here. So you can see currently on this map, there's definitely streets that are there. Some streets, Burkina Faso just stops there in Ghana. But there's definitely street networks that are with a lot of additional mapping information. So the focus of this is essentially about us understanding where we are so we can know what to do about where we are. And that's the first step. Now, before we even get to that knowing why we are where we are, we've got to innately know what are we doing in this place where we are. And that's kind of tricky because even for me personally, it was always about projecting about what other people need in their space, but not about myself thinking okay, what do I actually need in my space, where I live, and what am I offering into the space? And so my intention for the most part of my career was to think about what other people, other companies, and other organizations need, but never really thinking about what is my skill sets to bring into the fruition of here. And then I started realizing that actually my offering into the world is much more than my understanding of how to make a map, like where the map is and all of that, but it's also about experiencing the space within the actual ground. I remember my first interview at the IUC when I was 21 years old, and the person who was interviewing me his name was Udesh Pillai, and he asked me what's the most important thing about a map, and I don't even remember what I said, but his answer to me was it's about the people on the ground, and it's how are they impacted by it. And so I really remember that for forever, and here I am now to offer into the space more than just a technological solution on a computer with a cloud solution. What I am offering into the space is actually me as a being coming into a community and activating the community to allow for businesses and community to work together in a shared and sacred economy approach. And so I'm doing that under the auspices of tourism, because I have studied tourism essentially because tourism is the number one catalyst for poverty alleviation in the least developing countries. That's kind of amazing. So I chose tourism because not only is it like the number one catalyst for poverty alleviation, but protected areas, as well as, let me just show you this. So as we are also obviously aware of that our nature is being threatened, and if we don't protect our nature, like zero, like going down. So it so happens that when I compiled my research and efforts that I did almost 10 years ago now, it was about like, where are the pristine areas? Funnily enough, that was what I landed up doing, or advised to do, or led down the path to do, however you want to call it. And I had then set up a model to identify where are the most pristine and undiscovered natural resources in our country. And so this is what you're looking at. So these grids, which is called the H3 grids, together with the conservation areas, is identifying where there is an abundance of natural resources. So my approach for this project from Cape2Cairo is to first identify where are our natural pristine resources, and then work around that to create sustainable business models. Now, I would like to focus on the tourism sector because that's what my speciality is. However, no doubt that tourism sector is indeed related to the health of the community at a more robust level that covers many other sectors. Okay, so you're not going to have a healthy tourism sector if your streets aren't cleaned, for instance. You know, if the crime is high, you're not going to have a good tourism sector. So the indicator of a healthy tourism sector is based on the fact that other sectors are working sharp together. Pashash. Okay, cool. So the logic behind where I am currently with this phase of this development, and I don't want to get carried away with too much of what's going to happen. We're just going to focus on what's happening like here now. So currently what we have is this platform where you as a business or you as an individual can press this location button here, and it's going to locate you. Oh, there you go. That little location button is going to locate you on planet Earth. Nice, eh? Not bad, actually. So, obviously it's IP address, so it's going to link close to your closest IP configuration. Where did it identify me? What's going on here? Where am I? Let's just put this off for a second. Putting off, I seem to be in a Sandby protected area. Is that correct? Oh, yes, it is. I am in Scarborough, ladies and gentlemen. So inspired to be able to send this video from Scarborough right now, and indeed a blessing. So let's just put this back on. So this entire region is protected. Now one can start drawing a really, really useful configuration from this current state of map. If you know where the protected areas are, not only can you go and experience something in these regions, but you can also then start identifying like what's around that is useful. Now, when you're thinking of a product, when I'm thinking of a product and service for myself, is what I'm doing currently with the business that I am setting up here in Cape Town. It is about identifying where my resources are, like my natural resources, and through tourism, taking people along these routes, along these super pristine, beautiful areas, and showing them this regions, and making sure that we interact with these areas responsibly. Okay, so I just want to show you. Let's just put on rivers, and there. And we're going to put on, for today's demonstration, I'm also going to put on some mountains. Okay, see how everything starts covered with mountains now. And let's just put on some sandy beaches. There you go, look at that. and pebble beaches. There you go. And some rocky beaches. There you go. So immediately, without too much of a stress on the servers, you can start seeing a mosaic of where are the mountainy areas, where's the conservation areas, where's the beach areas. Wonderful. Okay, so we're now going to go into the points. Now, by the way, like I haven't got into like how we got to this point of having all these maps on this cloud solution like amazingly. We're going to get to that shortly, but I just want to put these points on for you right now. So as you can see, it's called Afrigis points. Wow. I mean, I don't even know where to start to give my thanks to this whole solution. But more on that as we unfold in more videos. But I am extremely indebted to having been partners with Afrigis for almost the last 4 years, and being at the forefront of developing this solution with them. And in many ways, I am the kamikaze geographer. Very few geographers who would sit and compile such a solution for conscious community creation and community development all aligning to the National Development Plan and job creation models and that's who I am. I am a geographer that has worked in the space of mapping for the last 20 odd years, and now partnered with this amazing company called Afrigis that has now helped me to develop the solution for the tourism sector and related spaces in this country, and specifically in Cape Town, where I just want to show you what's going on here now. Let's just put the mountains off for now. There you go. And so the mosaic of information around here is clustered, and as you zoom in, you could start seeing it as those points uncluster. You could start seeing the names of those places as well. Now you may be saying like, okay, cool, so now what? Like, what's next? Well, what's next is like essentially like, okay, now you know what's next. So it is about knowing what is happening with this data and what is going to be the follow through with all of this information, and where do you play a role. So you see this Popeye Act. So here is where we can start loading information. Now I'm just going to load a point here, for example, on Table Mountain, right? We're just going to call it Table Mountain. Let's call it High Point. Select the category. Let's call it human infrastructure. Select type, tourism attraction. Let's select type 2. We're going to call it historic monument, statues, mountain plus. Cool. Contact number. I'm just going to put my number for now. I'm going to put my email, kg@geotrips, and let's just take a website link to. I will take that from, where can we take that from? 1 second. We are just going to take that from hiking, and we're going to take a video, and we put a URL to the video, and we're going to say peak point on Table Mountain, right? And we're just going to go browse. And for now, let's just choose a picture like that. Okay, just a random picture. And so essentially, what's happening here now? We can view we can view all the layers that's available on the current technology. This element allows us to add a point into the database. Now, the interesting thing about this is that when you add a point into the database, there's like this whole connection that happens between the point and all the other points. Okay, so I'm just going to say submit here, right, and talk you through that. I'm going to talk through that. You see points successfully submitted and will be shown on map once approved. In another video, I'm going to show you the dashboard, but for now, I'm going to summarize this and say that this point is now loaded into this cloud database that's in Pretoria. And the the build behind this is about responsible tourism, about job creation, and it's about creating funky routes and sharing information and all of these things, and publicly facing. Like it's this, the list of the offerings is expanding, to say the least. But the crux of this, and this is where I almost feel like I have too much toys in my cot, kind of, is that the build is not using solutions that are outside this country, for one. It's all inside the country, and it's all aligned to compliance policies. Essentially, it's off the grid. So there's no dependency on anything to do with the big brother that, like starts with G and ends with E. There's no dependency on any of their solutions. Now, the interesting conversation about that is that I like the saying, like, be in the world but not off the world. This is a famous guy who said that. And I really appreciate how Afrogist has like stuck to the path, and they were like, okay, cool, like we're doing this because this is what our country has stipulated. They're like, you got to have our own SABS and SANS approved ISO accredited databases on a server that is stored locally with the appropriate metadata, and that's what the government wants. Not like random information that's like on like somebody else's server on like in California or whatever. It's not nothing against California, but it's not our information, and it's been harvested and sold somewhere else. So this solution, ladies and gentlemen, is completely not that. None of this information is harvested and sold onto any other third party. This is all within like my reach and Afrogist's reach, and in a secure server, and used for the specific purpose of what we are doing for this project. And it's really, really, it's so important these days to acknowledge the importance of protecting our own data. Needless to say, this is why I'm endeavoring to, like, one more road trip, Kesh, one more road trip, Cape2Cairo. Why? Because this is ours. This is our Africa solution. Like, all this data, all these route maps, all this possibility, like one community at a time. And privileged to be able to launch this in the base of Table Mountain. Like, it's really is quite something to be able to say that this little solution, this little local solution, is going to be tried and tested in the beautiful auspiciouses of Table Mountain. Now, I don't want to get too far away from things right now, but let me just do this, and just put this like that. Human infrastructure, and there you go. And for the last part of there you go. Awesome. There we go. Nice satellite imagery there. And that's it. So the location for our headquarters is basically where this green dot is. Well, not in the forest, but really close by there. And so here is where we are launching this super amazing product and service offerings. We have an actual headquarters where we have a digital nomad space. We're opening it up for the public. We are identifying users within the digital nomad space who are working in the different sectors. So we're looking for specialized digital nomad people, entrepreneurs who tick off the various different sectors, so that they come in, they subscribe to the solution, they can access this information. It's all part of the package. You get to use this in your geo-marketing, use this in your business. I will advise you on how this can enable you to streamline your profits and to clean up your data and to connect into the sacred economy of the region. And you get to use the space, which is like this epic location on the top of Newlands Forest, like right there. And then you have access to our holistic wellness and hiking activities. So it's like just this complete compilation and consolidation of many years of hard work from not only from Afrigis, but also from myself and all my business partners and stakeholders. Just want to give a big thank you to obviously Afrigis for enabling this entire solution and being patient with me. Thank you to my project manager who has taught me so much over the last 3 years. I really respect the patience in which that has unfolded. Give thanks to my business development manager. Words to not put into words cannot really explain how grateful I am. I give thanks to definitely the CFO. Without saying a word, I know he has played a big role in this, as well as many other partners within Afrigis. I give thanks to my current business partner here in Panorama Guesthouse in Cape Town. Without him, I wouldn't have the luxury of putting all my crazy visions and all my ideas into play. Thanks to the team down at the guest house who have just been nothing but kind and patient with me. Sometimes I'm so hard with them. And here we are, like finally I'm coming to a point where I'm understanding, not understanding, I'm so hard on myself sometimes. But come to the point where I'm happy to be online and happy to share this and show this onto to the world and get people to use this and understand like the importance of protecting the data and working with the information that you have accessible to yourself, working with community, working smartly. And yeah, the rest, as I say, is history. So I give thanks. Hopefully there's more of these YouTube streams. Not hopefully, there's definitely going to be more of these. And I look forward to it. I look forward to some honest criticism. Thank you. What would you want to hear more? Maybe more about the products and services. Maybe more about, I don't know, more about stuff. Just let me know. Yeah, we'll take it from there. Okay, well, thank you very much. In the immortal words of Buzz Lightyear, to infinity and beyond. Yeah, thank you. Have a beautiful afternoon.